Welcome. Do you want to know how much your graphics card is, how much a CPU is, how much any random electronic device or any other random item in the world is worth at this current moment? Well, we're going to tell you how to figure out exactly what the current market value is of any specific item, how's the easiest way to figure it out, and then we're going to have some fun and we're going to dig into these new ridiculously overpriced, way over MSRP graphics cards. But first, let's spin that intro. So you want to buy a new graphics card, a new CPU, a new console, a new video game, a new insert whatever item you want here. What should you pay for that item? We're not talking from a retail, we're not talking at MSRP, manufacturer reserve price. We are talking about the current market value. What is your item worth at any given point of time? So what is current market value? Market value is a price that an asset can get in the marketplace. It is the present day worth of a property if sold under the current economic conditions. Basically, current market value is whatever people are willing to pay for the given item at a given point of time. So what determines the current market value? Simply put, it is supply and demand. I'm not going to go into a complete economics lessons, but this is a supply and demand curve. In this specific example, we have a shift in the supply. The supply increases, which has an impact on the price, bringing the total price down. If supply increases and demand stays the same, price will drop. Inversely, if you have a limited supply and a high demand, that is going to drive the price skyrocket. Best way to gauge the current market value is eBay. Since eBay sells pretty much all assets, it's an easy way to get a current snapshot of the marketplace. You can search a specific item, you select the location, you select the condition. We're going to select show only the sold items, and then we'll sort by ended recently. All right, so to do this, we're going to take the top 10 or so items. We're going to remove the outliers, i.e. the paper versions of graphics cards where people are listing a photo and trying to sell it at graphics card prices, claiming that it's a paper launch and trying to rip someone off. We're going to remove any kind of pre-orders or fake listings or things that just don't line up with the normal market value. We're going to gather an average of these prices, and then we can compare the pricing to the MSRPs to decide specifically if taking the plunge on a specific item is right for you. Let's hop over into eBay and let's actually see this in action. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, and it gives you a great accurate portrayal of any specific item in the current market, what it's actually worth, because that's what it's selling at, not what a retailer lists it at or not what they claim that it should be. The market value is what it is selling at. Let's take a look. All right, let's just do a random search. Everybody wants graphics cards. Let's check one of the new graphics cards. Let's see what the market dictates the price on graphics cards. I've already actually ran some numbers. I have a spreadsheet drawn up, and we're gonna figure out what is the current MSRP versus the current market value, and we're going to see just how much these things are getting marked up at this time. Let's start with the big dog first, RTX 3090. MSRP on this card is $1,500. What are they selling for? So we started by searching for our item. We're going to select our condition. We're going to select only new items, because that's all we care about right now. If you were looking for the used market value, would select used. We want to select US only, because that's the place we live, that's the place we want to compare. US only. Now here's the big one. On the left side, we want to do sold items only right here. In the app, you can also do this. You would just go to your options and you would scroll down, and underneath the filters rather, and scroll down, and there is a sold items. Let's go ahead and do our sold items. It defaults to ended recently. That's what we care about. We want a snapshot of the current market value right now. So we want to take the last so many cards and get a portrayal of what the current market value is. For these RTX 3090s, again, MSRP 1500. Now this is one of the better models. It's probably more around 1800 for if you were buying directly from Asus. It sold at 2400. Pretty good $600 markup. There's one for 2500, $700 markup. Asus Tough. I'm not 100% what that's selling for, but I want to say that it is around 1700. It sold for nearly 2100, counting the shipping. You make sure to count the shipping because some people do things like this 4670 for shipping. So it all counts as one total lump. Here's a decent value. It only sold at 1975. Just slightly above the 15. That one's probably a $1,600 card. Founders Edition, that is all day, every day, a $1,500 card. It sold for $2,000, so $500 markup. There's another $500 markup on a Founders. $2,350, make that $2,370 for a Supreme. Those are actually, I don't know if they actually go by Supreme or Supreme. Those are actually one of the top models for MSI. It is a beautiful card. It is not worth $2,300. So we can do this with anything and everything. You want a new Ryzen CPU? Let's do a 5600X, Ryzen 5600X. And we're gonna search. It should hold our parameters that we already have in there. We have right here, it shows US only. Right here, sold items, ended recently. So this processor is a $299 processor, 385. 355, that's really not too bad. That one's pretty decent. Oh, it's listed as an open box. So that one's a little iffy. I'd be a little leery on that one. We're looking for brand new in this instance. 380, 390, that's 400. So we're getting about a 20 to 25% markup, and that is actually what the market dictates. This is what the CPU is worth at current market value. Let's just do, how about an RX 6800? These are rather hard to get. And there is a 6800, the normal non-XT version, $930, $925. These should be at an MSRP of $580. So from $580, it jumped clear up to $930, $930. 1000. We got a, so this one's actually not as crazy because it's a XT. The XT should be a 650. It sold for 1100. Let's jump over to the numbers real quick. I've got some pretty funny data on a small sample size that I've went through with all of the new RTX cards, all of the new AMD RX cards, and let's see what they're being marked up to right now on eBay. Before I jump into some number specifics, if you do not care about graphics cards pricing, go ahead and skip to the next part. I have timestamps in the description, and we'll go ahead and jump past it, and we'll do a little wrap up and do a quick discussion on the MSRPs and how you can find current market value on any item currently as it stands in the active market. All right, let's start with the RTX 3060 Ti. Should be the best value card that Nvidia's came out with years, if you can get your hands on it. So the price on the Founders Edition, the MSRP base model, $399.99. For the next couple models up, you should be at about a 5 to 10% markup for AIBs. And here's what they are really selling at on eBay. These are all new, US only, and this is a random sample pulled from yesterday's data. So here we have a Zotac 736, a Founders. Keep in mind, Founders should be a $400 card. 760, 765, 723, 791, nearly double on a Founders Edition 3060 Ti. We also have Ventus, which isn't that great of a card. I know I have one. Actually, I'm getting a second one. Zotac Twin Edge, also not a very good model. EVGA for the win. That's actually a good model, and it was a much cheaper price than these other ones. That's probably the best deal of all of these at a huge $230 markup. So here is the average selling cost from my sample size of normal 3060 Ti's for $742. And I added the MSRP of the actual card model prior to resale. So the average 3060 Ti on my small sample size is going nearly $300 above the brand specific MSRP. Now the RTX 3070, the average selling price currently on eBay for a brand new 3070, $810. The base model, Founders, $499. That's right, over $300 markup on that one. When you average out all the models with their MSRPs, they are selling at an average of $232 over MSRP, which is actually better value than the 3060 Ti. Let's jump into the 3080. Here's where it's going to make you sick. The RTX 3080 hardest card to get of the lineup is a standard Founders Edition, $700. The Founders Edition currently selling $1,350. That's just insane prices. So the average 3080 on eBay, brand new, is being sold at $1,473. The average over top of MSRP, $610. $610 over MSRP. Death to scalpers. I hate you, scalpers. Next, RTX 3090. Just quickly, they should be at around $1,500 for Founders. Add another 10% on an AIB, and we're talking about $1,600 average MSRP. Yet they are selling at $2,100 average. That's nearly $500 over MSRP. Hate you, scalpers. Let's look at RX 6800, also sickening. These are very hard to get as well. MSRP $580. I didn't go over all the brand specific ones on these. I left the base MSRP, so the average is probably a little inflated, but the average selling price $952. The average over MSRP $372. Let's add on some for the AIBs, and you're talking at $300 over MSRP. 6800 should be $650. Average selling $1237. Average over MSRP $587. Let's actually cut that back down a little bit. $500 over MSRP. $500 over MSRP on a 6800 XT. Alright, here's the quick summary. GPU prices are nutso. Supply is low, demand is high, prices are skyrocketed. Hopefully, eventually, supply starts to increase, which will cause a shift, and then it should bring the cost down and meet our equilibrium point. If that happens, then the world will return back to normal and everybody can start getting graphics cards and everyone can be happy again. But until that time, scalpers will keep scalping, bots will keep buying. So make sure to check out my video above, and hopefully that can help you to acquire a new RTX card, a new AMD RX card, a new CPU, a new PS5, one of those new hard to get items. Please check out my guide. Please join me on the Best Buy raid that we're going to do on the 19th, Tuesday the 19th, between 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to beat those bots. We're going to get some of these graphics cards. I hope you join me. Check out my video. Learn how to do this. Let's all get these graphics cards, not let the bots steal them, and let's all come together as a community. If you got any value or any entertainment out of this video, make sure to smash that like button and follow us for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride.